Hi, I'm Mark from Mark the Cyberbeast. This week's episode is on the Tesstudio running boards for your Cybertruck, so stay tuned. And welcome back. So Tesstudio sent me some running boards to try. Now you may have seen that I went ahead and reviewed the Hansshow running boards, which are great running boards. I really love them. But Tesstudio wanted me to do a comparison contrast on these and tell you the pros and cons. Now I'll tell you, there's a ton of pros, honestly a ton. A couple things about them. I don't need running boards to enter my truck. But my wife, my dogs, they definitely appreciate having that extra step, especially if my wife's in high heels. Makes it easier to get into the truck. Now, the one major difference between the Tesstudio and the Hansshow is the brackets. There's 5 brackets. That's my truck, not me. The truck did its gaseous emission when it parked. So you got your 5 brackets here. And there is only one bolt that secures it to the undercarriage. The Hansshow has 2 bolts. To me, that's a con, but at the same time, you've got 5 of them. So it's really not so bad, okay? So the fact is it's only secured in each bracket by 1 bolt versus the Hansshow, it's 2 bolts, which also makes the installation a little bit quicker and easier. But here's the biggest pro for the Tesstudio running boards. Underneath, and I'll get a video of this and show it to you in just a few minutes. Up front here and back over here is where you have it for your jacks when you want to lift your truck up. With the Tesstudio side mount running boards, okay? The cool thing about them is that the area is freely accessible, okay? Now, a couple weeks ago when we put on these beautiful red caliper covers at Jim's garage, right? We had to jack it up. With the Hansshow running boards, the front bracket covered the area where the jack mount is. So I had to remove the bracket. Now that was no big deal. It was a couple bolts, came right off. But with this, if you're on the side of the road, you need to jack this thing up. You don't have to worry about taking that bracket off. You have fully accessible access to those mount points right there. In the middle, you've got your kind of Cybertruck triangle logo right there. It's a little dirty because it's been raining here since I've installed it, but it holds my 200 pounds of weight, no problem. Bounced on it a few times, but right now I keep this in beast mode, so it's always kind of low, but many of you ride in the comfort mode, which means it's elevated. Now you also have the ability with one of the options on the Cybertruck to make it for an easy entry, and it goes down and up each time you stop. Some people don't do that. It's not a big deal, but it does make entrance to here a little bit easier. If you have kids, it's a no-brainer. The dogs absolutely love it. So for me, it's the aesthetics. I think the running board should have came stock from Tesla. Every truck I've had has running boards. Remember, I've had trucks 35 years. I've owned pickup trucks, which is literally my entire life since I started driving. And I'll tell you, having running boards is night and day, especially if it's raised up and elevated. But Tesstudio makes a real good one. You'll get this thing shipped. It's about a 45-pound box, so it is going to be a bit heavy. Your UPS guy's not going to be real happy, but the installation, less than 30 minutes. Get your Milwaukee power ratchet like I told you about. Hopefully you got one of those for Christmas at Home Depot. And this thing will go in probably 15 minutes if you have a power ratchet. And that's about it. So I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. The link and the discount codes for the Tesstudio running boards will be below. Also, don't forget, hit comment, like, subscribe, and we'll see you again next week.